gotta reinforce the hair with about 100 bobby pins. I don't know why I packed so many mangoes. So I'm a little bit winded. Sucking air. I'm just really happy that I got to go out and run 5 miles. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Amber. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, do the likes, do the comments. It really helps us out. Anyways, let's jump into the video. We're just doing a day in the life today about me starting trail running again. Yay! I have been wanting to start trail running again for a hot minute now. I was really into trail running about 2 years ago, and I did a little bit last summer, but nothing consistent. I feel like over the past 8 months, I have really transformed my mind, my body, my soul, my sleep schedule, just with getting on my CPAP and starting CPAP therapy, as well as starting Zepbound and losing 30 pounds. So I am really excited to just see how today goes. I have not done a ton of just like straight cardio, but I want to get outside today because it's supposed to be really nice out. It's a little bit cool, so that works perfectly for me because I sweat like too much. We're gonna go for a trail run. I'm super excited. I can't wait to pull out some of my gear that I haven't used in quite a while. And yeah, we're just gonna have fun. So I need to get ready first, so let's do that.
You okay?
Yeah, why?
We heard screaming.
What?
We heard screaming.
I didn't scream. I'm just filming. I'm keeping that in there. Did you guys hear screaming? Did I scream? I gotta reinforce the hair with about 100 bobby pins. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Wisconsin. We don't have like mountains or anything here. Obviously it's the Midwest, like we're fairly flat, but we do have a lot of trail systems, which are just so fun. They're like very wooded, kind of like bluffy trail systems, and I really love it. It's just so much fun. But I do really enjoy like training in more mountainous areas as well. So my husband and I go backpacking quite often, and we've loved like going to national parks and exploring and doing all that kind of stuff, but we just don't have that in our area. But that's good for me because I don't think I'm really to the fitness level of doing like mountainous terrain at all. So the flatter kind of bluffy systems work super well for me and my current fitness level, especially like getting back into trail running, getting back into running, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just excited to get back out there. It says it's 31 degrees right now with a feel of 18, but that's gonna warm up quite a bit by the time I'm like out there, so I'm not too worried about it. It is making me wonder about shorts or no shorts though. I might just have to step out on the porch. Let's take a field trip. My double chin is double chinning right now, like so hard. I haven't been out on this patio in a hot second. I should really do more content out here. This is a nice little space. Oh wow. Kind of forgot about it. Okay, standing out here, we're 100% wearing shorts. I would get extremely hot if I was in pants, and I also think I'm gonna do layers for my upper body, so I think we're gonna do like a sports bra that I could just take off into and like run in just that with a, I just lost my train of thought like really hard. Oh, with a like running over shirt, like a long sleeve shirt. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm glad I stepped out here. Okay, I've picked out my outfit. This is like one of my favorite parts of running, is picking out my outfit. Okay, I'm gonna wear my John G Sun hoodie with my Lululemon Shake It Out. Is that what these are called? The Shake It Out shorts? I don't know. I'll have them linked down below. But I love this green color. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm gonna have this Athleta bra underneath. I got this quite a while ago, but it is one of my favorite bras. If I can find it, I will link it down below. But it's like a long line and it does not ride up, which I thoroughly appreciate. It basically is a crop top on me. So this is gonna be the fit. Okay, can you see my fit? I'm pumped. I am so pumped. Okay, I'm just gonna get all my hydration and stuff ready and then we'll get going. I think I forgot to tell you about my pack and my shoes. This is the Salomon Sense Pro 6, I believe. And this was a limited edition colorway from a Courtney Dauwalter collaboration. It's new, I've never used it before, but I have used other Sense Pro 6s and I love them so much. So we're gonna use this. And then for my shoes, I have the limited edition Courtney Dauwalter S-Lab Genesis shoes, which they do still make these, but they're just like not the same colorway because this was a limited edition one. And then I'm wearing my Darn Tough lightweight wool socks for blister prevention, and just they're really comfy. So that's the fit. Okay, the only thing I've eaten today were was my protein coffee. So I am gonna have a little bit of some carbs and protein before I run. So I'm gonna make myself just half a sweet potato. I'm gonna warm it up, and then I'll probably just put some cottage cheese on the side, and that'll be good enough. I was gonna have granola, like cereal, but I'm just not in the mood for that. I want something like with substance, you know? We're here. I don't know why, but I'm like getting a little anxious. Like I'm a little nervous, and I have to pee. And I peed before I went, so I feel like it's a nervous pee. Okay, I'm gonna pack my pack. I love saying that. Starting with 2 Solomon hydration bottles. These both just have water in them. I didn't put any electrolytes in them today, but I am gonna bring a pack of electrolytes just in case I feel like I need it. I am going to bring my Element. This is a watermelon salt flavor. I don't plan on being out for too long, but since this is my first run in a while, I just want to be safe, you know? I'm packing way too many snacks, but you can never have enough. So, number 1 is some sweet mangoes. These are sweetened, like I said. This is so many mangoes. I'm 100% not gonna eat all of these, but I thought I was gonna eat some on the way over here and I didn't, so I'm bringing them. And then I'm gonna bring this Goo Stroopwafel salted chocolate and this Honey Stinger caffeine chews. This is like a lime flavor. I don't know why I packed so many mangoes, but I did. Gotta have my rescue inhaler. I have the nervous pees, but I don't want to pee because the bathrooms are so nasty. These are my Shock open earphone headphones that I'm gonna be wearing. Okay, a little update. I'm 4 miles in. My average pace has been between 14 and 15 minute miles. 14, somewhere 16. My first mile was definitely the longest because it was uphill. Like the whole entire thing was just like rolling up hills basically. So that was longer. But what's crazy to me is that my pace is essentially the same as when I was running consistently for a whole year. Like my road pace was between 13 and 14 minutes, if not a little bit longer, when I was at my best. And this is like in a trail. So I'm just like kind of amazed with how much the sleep therapy and asthma therapy has been working. Like it goes to show like how messed up my system really was. That no matter like how much I trained, I was not getting any better. It wasn't because I wasn't trying or doing the right things. It was just because I physically could not. Like my body would not let me do anything because it was so messed up in the sense of like my metabolic health. So yeah, I'm just feeling really good about this. I'm really happy. And I feel like I'm finally able to start achieving some of my running goals, which is just like super exciting. So yeah, I'm very excited. Sorry, I just got running up a hill, so I'm a little bit winded. Sucking air. We've got 1 mile left. Well, actually less than a mile. I think it's like 0.75 or something. I'm doing 5 total today. This is considered a long run for me. I'm currently thinking about everything I'm gonna eat when I get home. Definitely gonna have some mangoes in the car. Need to drink a lot of water because I suck at that to begin with. Okay, we're done. That was hard. But it felt good. Like, I felt physically way better than I did last year and the year before that when I was running, even though I haven't ran in like a year. Crazy things. I think I'm gonna eat some mangoes in the car on my way home, sip on some water. I didn't actually end up drinking anything out of this flask, so I'm gonna put my electrolytes into this flask. Thought I put them in here. Well, anyways, I will find them. And then I'm gonna drive home, sip on my drinks, eat some good food, and then we'll go home and actually eat some real food. I swear the best part about running is that you get to take your shoes off at the end. Like, whenever I'm struggling through a run, the thing that gets me through is knowing that I can put on different shoes after. It's the best feeling in the world. My electrolytes must have fallen out at some point. Well, they did fall out at one point, and then I put them in a different pocket, but I don't know where they are, so we're just not gonna worry about that right now. But I did bring some snacks for the road, like I said I was going to. So I have my mangoes. I didn't end up eating anything on the actual run, even though I brought all of this stuff. It just wasn't long enough. I ran for an hour and 20 minutes, and yeah, it just like wasn't long enough for me to feel like I needed anything. So I brought this Goose Droop waffle, salted chocolate, and then I have this Built Sour Puff Blue Raz. It's like a protein bar. I've never had one of these before, but I like remember when these were so big on like TikTok when they first came out. People were like raving about these. So I'm sorry if the camera was not focused. It should be focused now. Anyways, I have 3 options to choose from on my way home, so I'm definitely gonna eat this one. Let's just do a taste test right now because I feel like it. It smells very sour. I love the idea behind it, but you know that like proteiny taste that some like clear proteins have, or like any kind of protein powder has, really, it doesn't always mesh well with fruity flavors, in my opinion. I feel like there's a little bit of like a proteiny powder aftertaste, and I'm getting that. It's like, I feel like it's like the whey aftertaste doesn't always mesh well with my taste buds when it comes to like fruity flavors. So I feel like it's okay. Love the idea. I wish the Blue Raz was maybe like a little bit stronger just to kind of block out that taste. It's not bad though. It's kind of how I feel about clear protein powders though. When I'm drinking them, like I like the idea and I like the fruity flavor, but if I don't have something to kind of cut the whey taste, I just don't always love the aftertaste. Like, it's fine while I'm eating it or drinking it, but then after I stop, like after the sip has gone down, you know, then I get that taste and I don't like it. I don't know if I'll be purchasing those again. TBH. Also, I just have to say that my outfit was, first of all, giving me life because of all the color. Second of all, it was the perfect wears for this type of weather. It was basically like 45 degrees, and yeah, I think I would have been a little bit cold in my John G sun hoodie. I definitely could have layered something underneath it, but I'm glad that I had this shell on top because it was quite windy, and I feel like the shell just really helped with like wind resistance and such. So yeah, it was a perfect outfit. I was the perfect temperature, and I'm very happy. My lungs feel tired though. Like, I can tell that my body is going to be very tired tomorrow. Yeah. Let's drive home, shall we? Okay, I've taken my shower, which was an hour. I'm gonna make myself some chocolate chai for my electrolytes since I lost my other ones in the woods. Okay, it's almost 7 o'clock at night. I've just been relaxing on the couch and it's been quite lovely, to be honest. I have been watching the Cocodona 2025 live feed. You can watch ultra marathons, like trail running ultra marathons on YouTube. Mountain Outpost is my favorite channel. They do like some of my favorite races, like Cocodona, the Javelina, and last year they also did Hard Rock, which was really cool. But basically these are people who are running, well, the Cocodona is 250 miles, which is just incredibly insane. So, but I love to have them on in the background just for like some background noise because the commentators are so entertaining. Like it's just, yeah, it's really cool. And then the aerial footage that they have, they use like drones and they fly them over the course. And it's just incredible. Like it's so cool. And it's so motivational. Like if you are in a rut with running, I feel like watching a running event, especially when that spans over, like the Cocodona I think spans over 5 days or maybe an entire week, something like that. Like it's insane. These people are running 250 miles basically all the time, like for 5 days straight. It's incredible and inspirational. And it's what first got me into trail running, to be completely honest. So that's been incredible. I also have been reading my book, which is called This Story Might Save Your Life. I picked this up one day when I was in a reading slump and I was like, I just need something fast and snippy to kind of get me out of my reading slump. And I picked that book up and I read like half of it in a day. And then I put it down because I was out of my reading slump and then I was inspired to pick up something else, like a fantasy. I'm sure it was a fantasy. Oh, that's when I picked up Conform. I think that's when I picked up Conform. Yeah, anyways, was that just last weekend then? I can't, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I have not picked it up since I read it that first day. So I'm just finishing it up. I have about 100 pages to go. So not that much longer. This book is so addicting. And I say that in the best way possible. It's like, it just keeps you reading because each chapter ends on a cliffhanger. Like even the second you feel like, oh, this chapter is getting a little bit like boring, like I'm ready for something different, it ends on a cliffhanger and then it changes POVs. So I think I've talked about this before, but basically this book switches different POVs. So there's the POV of the main male character, there's the POV of the main female character, and then there's the POV of the main female character in the past when she's writing a memoir. So you're kind of flip-flopping between those three POVs and they're different timelines. So like 2 of them are present day and then the memoir is in the past. So it's fascinating. But then you end on a cliffhanger on one chapter and then it switches POVs and then you're like, well, I have to read the rest of the next chapter so I can get back to that POV that just left me on a cliffhanger. It's just so good. It's so good. And I honestly have no idea like what the ending is going to be or like what I have been trying to predict it the entire book and I can't. Like I truly don't know who is responsible for this. I don't know, guys, but it's really good. The other books I'm currently in the middle of are The Long Game by Rachel Reed. This is my audiobook that I've been listening to. And then while I was on my run, I didn't mention this, but I've been reading Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. I need to get back into this tomorrow, but I am filming an entire reading vlog, reading like dystopian novels, and Beneath is my second one in that reading vlog. So I did listen to the audiobook while I was on my run today, but I think I need to like actually go back and read some of what I listened to because I wasn't like completely locked in. So I'm gonna continue reading my book and I'll follow up with you guys later. All right, guys, it's the next morning and I feel like we need to debrief everything that happened yesterday. Well, maybe not everything, but like the run. That's the main thing. Okay, so first things first, I had such a fun time on my run yesterday. Like, it just felt so fun to just be like frolicking in the woods, you know, and like having a fun time and moving my body and taking in the smells and the weather and people and rocks, you know, like I just had such a fun time. So I will definitely be doing that more this summer, which was my whole goal. I mean, that was like the whole reason I even went out in the first place, because I wanted to test, number one, my endurance, number two, just how my body felt and my breathing, and then three, just like my mental space and all of that. So I feel like I accomplished everything that I set out to do in terms of my endurance. I do feel like it is way better than it was before. And I kind of touched on this a little bit while I was actually running, but in case you couldn't really hear because I was breathing so heavily. 2 years ago, when I was actively trying to train for like a half marathon / marathon, and I say that because I didn't really know like which one I wanted to do at the time, but I just wanted to like try progressively increasing my running distance, and I didn't know where I was going to be able to go, basically. This was before I started Zepbound. This was before I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I was still in the throes of like my deep illness, essentially. I was taking 3-hour naps every single day on the weekends, and for me that's a 3-day weekend because I don't work Mondays. And the days I was working, Tuesday through Friday, were awful. Like, it was a slug to finish the day. It was so hard. I was so tired. I was sometimes taking a nap at lunch just because I could not function like without a nap during the day, and I was just incredibly tired. I was also at my highest weight, and I stayed at that weight for like 2 years essentially until I started getting treatment. So just to give a little context, that's kind of where I was at. I also was not getting treated for my allergies / asthma. I have very bad allergies, and I also have really intense asthma. So I was not getting treated for any of that. So I was just basically in a really bad place health-wise, and we were still trying to figure out like what was going on with everything. So I, at that time, was running between a 13 and 14 minute mile just on normal, like, straight pavement. If I was in the trails, it was anywhere from like 14 to 17 or even 18 minute miles, depending on the terrain and how intense it was. That was also like after a whole year of consecutive running, consistent running, at least at the minimum 2 times a week, if not 4 times a week. So that was like really consistent training. I was also occasionally going to the gym to lift weights, but running was like my main priority. I essentially like built up to that speed and that pace over a year. And I was having so much fun just like being in the woods, like, you know, having fun testing my endurance, running. I had never been a runner. The only time I had ever ran was in sports that involved a ball. I was really, my primary sports were soccer and basketball. So obviously there's running involved in that, but not like trail running, you know? So yeah, it was just like fun. I was enjoying having 2 to 3 hours just like by myself in the woods, listening to an audiobook or not listening to anything and just taking in my surroundings. So flash forward to a year, I kind of got out of the running cycle because I, at that time, was figuring out like what was wrong with my body. I was having so many doctor's appointments. I was getting so many tests done. It was just like a lot. It was just a lot, to be honest. And so I put running on hold until I kind of figured out what was going on. And I was intermittently doing runs, like run walks, like either on my treadmill or going for hikes and stuff like that, but it was nothing consistent. I didn't really care about pace. I was just like time on feet. That's all I cared about, really. And then flash forward to now, essentially, where I am 8 or 9 months into all of my treatments, so that includes being on Zepbound. I did just recently change my dosage to 10 milligrams, and I have noticed a big difference just in terms of my appetite control. I was not doing well on the 7.5. Like for the last like month, I felt just like weird hunger cues. Like sometimes I would be not hungry for an entire day, and then the next day I would be like ravenous. It was just very weird, which obviously makes sense, but it just like I felt like my hunger cues were just not steady, you know what I mean? So anyways, I have also been on CPAP therapy for this entire time, and I'm also getting allergy injections, and that all kind of happened last year between May and July. That's like when I figured out everything. So I'm on, for my asthma, I'm on 2 different inhalers, like a strong dose of 2 different inhalers, plus I'm getting allergy injections. So I've had a lot of health changes over the last year that have markedly improved my health, like so dramatically improved my health. I've been able to exercise sometimes 7 days a week, like at minimum 5 typically, and that is sometimes including like 2 to 3 hour workout stretches. So awesome, fantastic. I've noticed such a big difference just in my body and like what I'm capable of. This is like what I remember myself being able to do before I really noticed that I was having issues with my health. So yeah, I guess just to to see myself just be able to go out for a run on a random Sunday because I felt like it, like I just like wanted to go for a run, and be able to actually do that and not feel awful the entire time was so fun. Like that was so exciting for me, because again, I am someone who's always been able to just go out and do like whatever I wanted with my body. Like I could go for a run, I could go for a swim, I could go paddleboarding, I could like do whatever I wanted with my friends, play a pickup game, and like I wouldn't feel depleted. That would just be normal to my body. And then when I started getting, I don't like to call it sick because I wasn't sick, but when I had these issues going on with my body and these undiagnosed conditions, I was not able to do that, and that was so sad for me. Like that was such a big part of my life, and is a big part of my life, that I just feel so like grateful that I've rediscovered that part of me, because that is such a central part to who I am as a person. And I've heard a lot of people, specifically Dr. Alyssa Olenek, she has her PhD in ex-phys, exercise science, women's health, that kind of thing, and she trains for ultra marathons, but she also does like high rocks and heavy lifting and all this kind of stuff. And she says it great when she's basically like, I train my body for these type of like really curated activities so that on the spur of the moment I can just go out and do like a 25-mile hike, you know what I mean, or like do a backpacking trip, or go start training for an ultra marathon and not have to build up for like 2 years. So that's kind of the point where I want to be, and where I feel like I'm getting to, basically, where I can just go out and do whatever I want to do. Now I'm still on that journey and I still want to get better at that, but the fact that I was able to just go out for a run for 5 miles after not having ran for like a year. I did one run on my treadmill that was like a mile, just so I could see kind of like where I was at, but ever since then I don't think I've ran since then. And so just being able to go out, like I said, on a random Sunday, run 5 miles and not feel completely depleted. I didn't even take a nap yesterday. Crazy. I used to come home from my runs, take a shower, and immediately take a nap for 3 hours. Like that was my go-to. Like I knew that running was going to be the only thing I did that day, basically, that was productive. So yeah, that's just so crazy, and like such a life-shifting experience for me. Although it like was just a run, like for me, like that was a pivotal thing for me, because I like literally got to witness and test my body and just go out and have fun without having to worry about like how I was going to feel after, or like seeing if I could actually do it. Like I knew I was going to be able to do it, you know? That's like crazy. This is crazy. And I'm just like so proud of myself for having put in all of that effort and going to get the medical care that I knew I needed, but I didn't know why. I think it's so easy for us to just get in this cycle where we're like, oh, well, this is my life now. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. This is just who I am. But That's not true. Like, if you're really struggling with something, go and figure it out. Like, even if it takes you 5 years. I mean, my whole diagnosis took 5 years to figure out. Even if it takes you 5 years, stick to it. Keep advocating for yourself. I am so lucky that I had the healthcare team that I did and that I do, because my doctor actually really takes like what I have to say seriously and continues to fight and advocate for me and run the tests that might not be the standard tests and have me go to all these different specialists that, you know, someone might just not take you seriously and not even send you there. So even if it seems like you're getting sent to all of these specialists and you don't know why, every single time that you go to the doctor, that's another piece of information for them. That's either a rule out or a rule in. I was going to neurologists, endocrinologists, you know, I still go to my allergist, sleep doctors, like all of these things, and I was getting tests done, but each negative result gave me answers to what it actually was. And then when I figured out what it actually was, it changed my life. So don't give up. Do not give up. Even though it's annoying, even though it seems like you're not finding any answers, just stick to it, because I promise you there will be an answer. Whether it's a straight diagnosis like I had, or even if they're just figuring out better ways to treat the symptoms that you have, it helps. And it's life-changing when it does. And you'll notice a huge difference when it does. You know, this was like validation for me that everything that I have been going through over the past 5 years was worth it. I'm just so happy that I like stuck to it. And my future self is going to thank me so much for it. I mean, I'm still thanking my old self for just like sticking to it, you know? Anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm just really happy that I got to go out and run 5 miles on the whim. Use all of my fun trail gear, because I love gear. I'm such a gear nerd. I love shoes. I love trail gear. It was so fun to like put together my outfit and go out and actually like run and yeah, all that stuff. But I will say I'm sore this morning. Part of that's probably also because I came home and I was really just wanting to cuddle with my dogs, and so I basically cuddled with my dogs until I went to bed after I like showered and ate and stuff. Plus I also wanted to finish my book, which I did end up finishing, and yeah, it was just a really good day. So, but I am sore today, so that's to be expected though. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the day with me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.